BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by...
I want to retire knowing we did it right. We want
to know that it's been worth something.
It's worth everything.
Be intentional about your worth. Farmers National Bank Wealth Management.
You should be very proud, and your family's very proud, and all the employees here are proud of what you've done. So on behalf of the City of Newton Falls and all the council and the staff, I would like to present you with the key to Newton Falls. You can't get into anything because the city manager has all the money also. I would like to give you the key to the city, and thank you so much for the 50 years, and I hope everything works great in the future.
I never knew I was going to be in this position 50 years ago, or even 52 years ago, you know. My partners and I got together and said, let's do it. And I think you have to be a little naive to make that big jump. I had a family and 2 kids, and there was a time when I missed a paycheck, but you just work hard and keep going and have some principles that you live by. And I used to say honesty, integrity, principle, and pride. And if you work with those and keep going, it should work out.
When I first joined the company 15 years ago, he said, Steve, you've got to have balance. You just can't have one market segment, one customer. You got to have that balance, and that's indeed what we've tried to do. And as I've shared with you guys, we have many, many market segments, from automotive to industrial batteries to medical to telecommunications. And so we focused on the key customers within those market segments, and if they're successful, we're successful.
How are things moving forward? You had mentioned that you've enjoyed some pretty consistent growth. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. I think this area that we're in is a very good example of that. We're focused on key customers. We had a key customer that said, we wanted you to do this automotive application, and it was a multi-million-dollar program, but it took a multi-million-dollar expansion. And so if we support our customers, they're going to support us with growth.
Can you tell me a little bit about the product that you're developing for Nissan?
Well, this trunk finisher that's represented here, it's a it's a finished part. I mean, it goes in the trunk, but it's cosmetic, and it's very, very key that it looks pristine. So we've got 4 people that make sure that it looks pristine. As far as new markets, the most recent is with a company down in Akron that makes soap dispensers, and we're building returnable dunnage that will go on these big presses, and that business starts next year.
What kind of growth has the company enjoyed as far as revenue?
Well, we've seen record growth for 10 consecutive years, record growth. And so today, we're about $38 million in sales, revenue, yeah.
And what do you anticipate moving into 2020?
Well, we want to continue to grow, of course. Our vision is to be in the top 100 injection molders in the United States, and that's got to be 60 million. We may not do it completely organically, but if it's an acquisition or 2, that's fine with us too.
Pretty happy with where the company is?
Extremely happy, extremely.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by...
I want to retire knowing we did it right. We want
To know that it's been worth something.
it's worth everything.
Be intentional about your worth. Farmers National Bank Wealth Management.